super interesting story to share with you today. One of my favorite lectures I attended in Blackpool shared the history of where on earth the ballroom dance syllabus came from. Who invents this stuff? Okay, so the first governing body of dance sport is called the International Society of Teachers of Dance. They still exist today. Now, the ballroom portion, because ballroom dance existed long before this time, didn't separate out into its own separate committee until 1924. And one of the first goals of this committee was to create a firm technical structure for each of the ballroom dances, which at that time was waltz, foxtrot, tango, quick step. Viennese wasn't included at that time. So guys, this is cray-cray. But before that time, there was no internationally agreed upon figures in these dances. So you could do a dance even from one city to another, and some figures might be acceptable in one area of the world and not acceptable in another. And certainly in terms of dance sport and, evaluating apples and apples, they needed some sort of agreed upon syllabus. So the first ISTD book was published in 1936. That was written by Alex Moore. But honestly, guys, in the 12 years preceding the publication of that ISTD syllabus book that we see today, Alex Moore did publish a monthly periodical on ballroom dancing that shared hints and tips for dancers and teachers, as well as kind of competition summaries. And so, interestingly, those it wasn't until 1935 that they included an established tempo for these songs and competitions. So guys, those first few Blackpools, there was actually not an internationally agreed upon tempo, say, for any of these dances. Can you imagine showing up and having to guess what speed of foxtrot they're going to play? Good luck dancing the stuff well. And obviously the tempos were most complementary to the figures that they had established, because as I'm sure anyone who's danced like a waltz to Viennese waltz music, good night Gracie. These figures work best at a certain tempo. So that original book was called Ballroom Dancing, okay? And in 1948, there was a technical update published, which resulted in the book that we know it today as, which is the Revised Technique of Ballroom Dance. And since then, there have been new editions and updates, but honestly, guys, they haven't changed anything. I'll give you an example. The latest revised version was in 1994, I believe. And okay, they changed the title to the Ballroom Technique Syllabus. And they changed the cover and the title page. That's the revisions. Yeah, the syllabus has remained largely unchanged this entire time, okay? Though certainly over the years since then, now when in the olden days in competition, they only did the syllabus figures, even at the world championship level. But once those kind of established syllabi were in place and the established tempos, we began to see more creative and artistic freedom. And so pretty much every year in ballroom dance now, someone's going to come up with something kind of innovative and fun on the ballroom dance floor. However, all of these, we call them open figures, are based in syllabus figures. Okay, so we don't just pull stuff out of our keister and do an Irish jig out there. All of these things are based in syllabus. So for example, a scatter chassé, like they didn't just invent that. That's a variation on a gold tipsy. The gold tipsy is a variation on the tipple chassé. And this is one of the things I liked about Bill Irvine's instruction. He knew the etymology of like every single figure ever. You know, he was actually one of, I think, Josephine Bradley's students, who was one of the original kind of, you know, kind of the pre-Alex Moore ballroom dance, you know, queen of the world. And so he said like, oh, well, the open telemark resulted when they over-rotated the reverse turn or whatever. Fascinating just knowing how each of these figures evolved. And I personally enjoy teaching that way now because it certainly has helped my understanding of how to execute those more difficult figures. And so, you know, it's similar to ice skating, friends. You know, in the original Olympics, you know, the single Lutz was a figure. And then a double Lutz, and then a triple Lutz, and then eventually a quadruple Lutz. And everyone learns to ice skate. You know, they learn that single Lutz first, okay? So same thing in ballroom dance. We learn a natural turn before we learn syncopated, progressive, natural pivots. You know, so there's definitely a benefit to learning these things in this order that will help you long term be able to do the fancy stuff really well, okay? And so anyway, guys, I hope you found that to be interesting. I sure did. When I first heard that stuff, and that's why we have a syllabus. That's where the syllabus came from. And it's probably pretty much going to stay the same for many, many, many decades to come. The only thing that we really do see change are the open figures, but those are not written in the syllabus. So hope that's been interesting. If you have anything you'd like to add, hey, comment below. I love hearing what you have to say because I am but one ballroom dancer in a world of ballroom dancers, and I love hearing your experiences, as does all of our other friends here. And if you ever have any questions for me that you're like, man, I want to ask my teacher this, but I don't want to take valuable lesson time to hear about ABC, hey, ask me in the comments. I will answer it in another video. Or if you're super shy, hey, I get it. It's a little nerve-wracking for me to stick myself out here in the metaverse every day because people on the internet sometimes would not be very nice. And so you're welcome to anytime. Hey, shoot me a message on Facebook and then I can answer it here and I won't use your name. I'll just read the question. If you don't want me to share that, that's fine. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me today. If you thought that was kind of interesting, hey, throw me a bone. Hit that thumbs up button. I share all sorts of different ballroom dance hot tea every day. So if you want to hear another story tomorrow, hit that subscribe button. I think there's like a little bell button or something you can hit that you'll, my videos don't pop up on your like phone screen, but I think you'll get like a notification that says Sunny's video topic today is blah, blah, blah. And then you have a choice if you want to watch or not. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Happy dancing, friends. Doodles.